Hello, hello. It's us, Dan,
And Felicia.
and we're coming at you live from our living room. I don't know why I said that. It sounded weird as soon as I started. We've got we're back with more Necrobarista. I think we may finish the game today. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we might finish the game today. And we're starting with our boy, whose name I've forgotten.
Kishan.
Kishan, thank you. I forgot his name.
I remember because there's a video game store called
Oh yeah.
Kishan. It's just spelled different.
Yeah, it's spelled differently, but yes, there is a video game store in Singapore called Kishan.
Hold on,
Day 2, 5 p.m. outside the terminal.
Day two.
Day
two.
This is right. It's Ned.
Hi, Ned.
You right?
Maybe Ned isn't
Yeah, I guess.
100% bad guy.
Well, I mean, he's friends with Chay, right? Like Chay, it's just Maddy that doesn't like him. And I think Maddy, it's not that Maddy doesn't like him, it's that Maddy doesn't like what he represents. Cool. Mind if I join you? Go for it. Durry? You want a Durry? What's a Durry?
The durian?
I'm sorry, Durry. Coffin name. Beer? Oh, cigarette.
That's what I guessed.
Oh, what's it? Why is it Durry? Do you want to smoke or not? Oh, right, of course. Yeah, sure.
You did already, right?
Sorry, it's been a weird day. Smoking is bad.
Yes.
They get to smoke because they're dead already. But if they weren't dead already, this would kill them. So don't smoke.
Don't smoke.
That's been your PSA. Thanks. No worries. Already talked about no worries last time.
Oh, Kishan looks like he suddenly
Yeah, he's suddenly
realized he's dead.
realizing. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, we are back. Where are you from then? Heh. You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Oh yeah, we get the keywords right. C-R, is it? R is this. Where else can you find an active nightlife scene amid active factories, shots, and apartments built all during the 1800s? Is that a good thing? Seems like it was a bad thing. Wait, by shots do they mean like gunshots?
No, I think like alcohol.
Alcohol. Where else can you find an active nightlife scene amid active factories, shots, and apartments built all during the 1800s? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Whereabouts? Smith Street. Good pricey up there these days, isn't it? Bet you like your Avo toast.
I would like some
Avo toast. Look, I love Avo toast, but it is obviously overpriced.
Do you know what's really nice? Avocado toast that's drizzled with honey.
Yeah, it's just overpriced. I remember we paid like 20 Aussie dollars the last time.
Yeah, but the
And I was
coffee
like,
was
what
so
the hell?
delicious.
Yeah, but the 20 Aussie dollars was just for the avocado toast.
Yeah, but the avocado was like just right. It wasn't overripe and it wasn't underripe, which is always what happens when we try to make our own avocado toast. Except when we're at your parents' place, where I think they bloom perfect
Ha.
and are free.
Piss off. I've got housemates. Well, now I know what you mean. Bit odd. Being dead and all that. Takes some getting used to. Ned certainly knows what it's like to get used to being dead.
Oh, I feel for that.
And Ned's been dead for a long time. If he is in fact the Ned Kelly. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better.
Maybe he's Ned Nickerson.
I don't think he's Ned Nickerson. I understand. Do you? I reckon as much as anyone can, yeah. Right. Hey, what's Avo toast actually taste like?
Oh.
Yeah, he's never had it. Huh? I've never had it, yeah. Avo toast on sourdough. Yeah, it still wouldn't be worth 20 Aussie dollars though. Can't you go out and just eat some? I'm sure Maddy could whip it up if you asked. Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit.
It's true. Except the one that
Don't trust them one bit.
Except the one that Dan's parents grew in their backyard. They bloom perfect.
Plus, I've got this whole situation.
Who's talking now?
Ned.
Oh, Ned. Okay.
Does he mean his helmet? Oh, so that's what the straw was for. Ah.
So I've been thinking, right, that it's a hazmat suit helmet, but it could also be
I think it's
executioner's helmet, right?
No, I think it's a punishment helmet.
Executioner's hood.
No, I think it's a punishment helmet.
Oh.
That's why he needs a straw. He can't take it off, and he can't like drink things normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it can also look like an executioner.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's a punishment. You got it. So what does it taste like? I don't know, like avocado and toasted bread.
What does avocado taste like?
And that's why you make it yourself. Yes, Joe. But avocados, look, avocado. There's that meme that's been going around for a very long time. It's not my joke, right? But the avocado where it's like, it's not ripe, not ripe,
Ding,
ripe, overripe. It's meat.
It's like ripe, it's like that.
It's ripe for like 2 seconds. If you don't get in those 2 seconds, you're fucked.
Do you think there was toasted bread during Ned Kelly's time?
Yeah, because they used to eat like American cowboys used to eat like toast and beans. Yeah.
So you just toast it over the fire.
You toast it over
right?
fire, yeah. Well, like they didn't have toasters obviously, but yeah.
Oh, I want toast.
We can make it.
I like toast.
Toast
Do we have bread? I think
Yeah, we have bread.
buy
No, we got it.
Oh,
We got it before. I don't know why my voice went up like 8 octaves.
I really miss holidays because the only time I ever get to enjoy toast and jam and butter is on holiday. Not like it's very difficult to get, right? But this is the only time where I actually have time to toast bread, wait for the butter to melt, put it on, and then put jam.
Those international, no, what are they called?
International breakfast.
Yeah, international breakfast buffets. Avocado's kind of cold and mushy, but it's got a good taste. Like peas?
No, peas are too green.
Definitely better than mushy peas. Love me a bowl of peas, mate. One famous Australian outlaw requested peas with a bottle of wine for his last meal before he was hanged.
Why?
Was it Ned Kelly?
Oh.
I don't know that. I'm asking. I mean, was that Ned Kelly? What? Because they're the only thing you can eat through a straw? Watch yourself. That's a cheeky smile. Gonna zap me with your death council powers? First off, it's the Council of Death, not a death council. They're totally different things.
Oh, okay. The helmet could refer to the armor Ned Kelly was known for. I didn't know he was
known for a helmet.
Or the fact that the real one was hanged.
The fact that the real one was hanged. Gallows hood. Yeah, maybe. Totally different things. Secondly, you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of our fingers? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit silly, yeah. Yeah, Darth Vader could. The Emperor. Actually, not Darth Vader, the Emperor.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Darth Vader could too, right?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Force lightning was the Emperor, yeah.
Oh.
We don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly is all. Harassing cafe owners to settle their time debt isn't something we like to do often. So you just keep the peace? As fucking ironic as that sounds, yeah, it keeps the peace. Yeah, it is ironic. Dude. I know.
I think I'm gonna sigh a lot
Want another?
this episode.
Sure.
Did you see the box?
Yeah.
It says smoking kills.
Yeah, because it does.
It does, guys. Don't smoke.
It does kill.
Oh.
Alright. Well, at least he got the roast lamb. Yeah, they failed to mention that in the game.
When we were in London, I ordered fish and chips, and I was like so happy that the fish and chips came with mushed avocado. Until I tasted it, and then it was mushed peas. And that's how you know I married a Mexican man.
Because why would you think fish and chips came with mushed avocado?
Because I've been trained that mushy green things is avocado. I was so angry.
Oh, Maddie's there. I love the sunrises here. They're alright.
Oh, that was interesting framing.
Yeah. You watch many sunrises, Ned? Not enough, no. It's the lamp. There's a lamp there. It's there. They're all within the lamp. Oh, there's a keyword.
Is it symbolic?
Wait, oh, there's no keyword. I don't know why my keyword inspect keyword came up. Oh, even semi-immortals need their sleep. Liminal space tends to draw liminal people. I just like to sit here and watch it. Even when it's cloudy or raining, there's just something about watching the sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day. I think that's Maddie speaking now.
Yeah, they don't have the face, huh?
Yeah, they only do it when they're not on screen. Yeah. So this could be Maddy or this could be Kishan, actually. I'm not 100% sure. Feeling optimistic all of a
I
sudden?
think it's Maddy.
No, I still feel like shit.
Oh, I like her shoes.
Yeah, they got good shoes. Ha. How about you, Kishan? Oh, is he disappearing? He's suddenly growing a little bit green. Kishan? I don't feel great.
Oh no.
I'm still having a lot of trouble. You guys, I'm dead and I've only got a couple hours left before I have to go, and I don't think anyone here really properly understands what it's like to see your last sunrise ever without any idea of what comes next, and that is really fucking terrifying.
It is.
It is. And I'm never going to see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again. I'm just going to pass on. I'll never know how they'll remember me or mourn me, or if I'm even going to be remembered as a good dude who tried his best, or if I'll just be forgotten in a year. But that good dude who tried his best couldn't even win a friggin' game of five-finger fillet in the basement of a cafe that basically sits on the banks of the Styx as far as I can tell. And God, I can't even tell if that matters. Were the stakes low? High? I can't tell. I'm so disoriented. I'm trying so desperately to feel something, but all I can feel is that I'm slipping away with every second. I'm losing myself by degrees, and that's incredibly scary, and I don't know how to deal with it.
Give him a hug, somebody!
Yeah, fair cop. Thanks, Maddy. I actually came out to apologize for that. The game. Oh, for God's sake, Maddy, have you been gambling again? Can it, Ned? Kishan, I shouldn't have taken that time from you. You took it fair and square. I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I don't usually do this. What's different this time? That's my business. I can't believe you're still swindling people out of hours to try and fix your debt. Dude, I know. It's bloody undignified. And it's a clear violation of the rules. I will banish you right now, my man. I thought you'd stop pulling that crap once you took ownership of the cafe from Chay.
Oh, where's Kishan? And Maddy's now standing on the chair.
Yeah. Well, Kishan was next to him. You really think doing this is going to help you pay this debt? Yes. Absolutely. And if you've got any bright ideas on how to do it otherwise, I'm all ears. We should have never granted you and Chay those licenses to practice.
Maybe now we'll see what it means.
The actions of reckless necromancers make a pretty good case for the importance of occupational licensing. You've obviously failed to be responsible with them. You really think we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have the licenses, Bushman? Given your history, the hypocrisy on display here is astounding. That's all behind me, and you know it. I've been working on doing some good for the last 100 years. The council? Really? Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important. Sure do. I don't need you moralizing at me from your ivory tower. Give it a rest, guys. There he is. We just couldn't see him. But I'm pulling the last day on Earth card. Quit it. They don't use a lot of animation, but the animation that they do use is quite well placed.
Also, the background design is very nice.
Yeah.
You see, like it's like a
General Grievous there.
yeah. It's also like everything kind of has stopped.
Yeah. Well, like there's like trains piled up or something. Yeah.
It's like
Train
a
cars, I
dystopia,
mean?
like
Yeah.
or like a place where unused and dead things go.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's where the dead go. I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Kishan.
Just give it back to him now.
I think she needs to do like a thing.
Oh.
It's not just here. You have your hours back. For what it's worth.
It seemed like that's how it was when she took it.
Well, no, I think the act of doing the five-finger fillet was the spell or whatever you want to call it.
We still don't know whether what she was doing at the very start is actually in the future
Or in the past. Yeah. I'm sorry about all this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave, walked the land for decades evading the council. That's a crime they call revenancy, staying too long, upsetting the balance. But in lieu of putting me straight to the next place or some sort of eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. Ned may have forgotten some of the sins of his past, but he's pretty sure he wouldn't be going to heaven. Sorry that's all stuff you don't care about, I suppose. It's interesting enough. Nah, I'm just filling up empty air. You should head inside and grab those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddy right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. And you might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people in there are fond of you.
I'm fond of you, Kishan, and I'm growing fond of Ned too.
You think so? Maddy wouldn't have offered the hours back if there wasn't something different about you. Plus, that kid Ashley seems to like you, yeah? I guess. She kind of just dragged me off and got me to hold screwdrivers for her. Trust me, she thinks you're great.
I think Ashley thinks everybody is great.
Go on, go inside and say hi. I've got some business to go stick to my nose into anyway. Alright. Catch you in a bit. I've got some questions about the council.
The music is also really nice.
Yeah, of course. I won't be out for long. Later, mate. Hey. Yo. Do you want those hours back? I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much difference. If it's okay, I prefer that you have them.
4 hours is the longest when you're waiting to pee.
Also, when you've only got 6 hours left, another 4 hours.
It's more than 50%.
No, that's less than 50%.
If you have 6 hours and you have 4 hours,
And you get another.
hours
And
is
you get another 4 hours.
What?
I did the math. Okay,
Okay,
it's
so
more than
3 hours
50%.
left.
There's more than 50% of 6
3
hours.
6 hours, yes.
Yes. But that's all right. That's fine. That's fair.
I'm correct.
Sure.
I did math.
Ashley's been enjoying having you around. Just Ashley? And me too, I guess. You seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude. Don't psychoanalyze me.
I like his face.
Yeah, that's a good face. Wait.
Wait, I want to take a picture. Can I take a picture?
Yeah, I'm taking a capture.
I think that's gonna be
That's
mine.
gonna be your Facebook thing now.
Yeah.
Don't psychoanalyze me. Sit still for a minute. Alright, lay your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist. Yeah, so there's a whole thing. This a part of your ritual or just an excuse to hold hands? Shut up.
Oh, the writing is so good.
Yeah. Damon Reese, you're amazing. Thanks, watch carefully. No matter what you do, don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I use to make sure that doesn't happen, but I've run out of the regular reagents required, and you probably don't care about that. True. Alright, yep. I give this time freely and without coercion. Yeah. As above, so below, I maintain the balance. I maintain the balance.
So there's a heaven and a hell?
Maybe.
Because she says as above
Well,
and
as a,
so below.
or it
right?
might be just the afterlife and
Oh, maybe
the
that's
mortal
true.
world. I don't know, right? Like not most. Like I've been reading up a lot about this, right? Most mythologies, most religions, you know, present or past, don't have like a separate. I guess we would call them heaven and hell now. Is the terms that we use? They don't have a separate heaven and hell, like in Christian cosmology, or possibly Islam as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. Most of them have it in the same area. So like there is one underworld or eternal realm or whatever, and in that same area you have a place for punishment and a place for reward, right? But the punishment place, you can get out eventually.
I think that's very much East Asian culture. Like Joe will probably know better than me, but like
Hey, Ron Moore.
hey, but I think like in East Asian culture, there's a paradise, but that's usually for like the deities and the goddesses and stuff like that. And like human souls cannot go there unless they
Oh, I
medicated
see.
for a specific,
Oh yeah. That's, I mean, like Greek mythology, for example, which is the one that I know probably best, is a similar, right? You have Olympus, and like that's like the home of the gods, quote unquote, right? Like that's not the afterlife. That's just the home of the gods.
Whereas the hell is like it's like a place of redemption. So you
Yes.
suffer up to the point where you have suffered enough,
Correct.
and then you are reincarnated.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever tally, right? Whatever tally. So like Greek mythology had a similar thing. Like the Greek afterlife was similar in that like you would be punished for however long they measured that tally, unless of course the gods were capricious, because Greek gods were famously capricious and punished you for whatever dumbass reason. But yeah, like if you once you quote unquote worked it off, you could then go to the Elysian Fields, right? You didn't spend all your time in I forget what it's called. Hades, I guess. It's like the hell, right? Like it's not the underworld, but like there's, like I said, even the Elysian Fields are in Hades. It's the same area. Anyway, yeah.
I've been watching this Japanese anime that's not called Hobonichi, but starts with an H, and like something H, clear-headedness. That's about the afterlife in East Asian culture. Yeah, the one I showed you.
Yeah.
Like it seems like crack, but I'm enjoying it a lot, so I'm gonna continue watching it. So I think this is probably where I get most of my knowledge from, like pop culture.
East Asian mythologies or religions, right? They also like the quote unquote demons, which is how it's translated in English. It's always translated to demon, but it doesn't actually mean like what demon means in Christian cosmology. Like demon is just like a different entity. Yeah, it's not a human. It's something else. It's a demon, but like like the Western. It's
always bad, right?
Yeah, a demon is evil, right? Like that comes from Christian cosmology. But in East Asian cultures, a demon is just, they could be good or they could be bad, but it's just a different creature from a human. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is capable of being redeemed. Like how you behave is more important than how you were born in that way. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Because like one of my favorite stories is the white snake green snake story, right? And they are quote unquote demons who are attempting to attain immortality, right? Like that's their whole deal. They're trying to be better by interacting with humans and helping human stuff. And depending on which version you are told or you read or whatever, they go about different ways of doing that. And sometimes they fail and sometimes they succeed. But yeah. So I think maybe this is borrowing something from that. So I don't think there's a when she says as above so below, I don't think she means like the Western or the Christian heaven and hell. I think she means more like the afterlife and down here the moral world. Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Also, I really like talking about that stuff. That's it.
How do you feel? I actually feel better. I feel less itchy. Yeah, we weren't kidding about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand it, as I understand, it doesn't feel good.
So she doesn't know what it feels like to linger, which makes her.
I think she's alive. I think she's still a live person.
Okay.
Like Chay, right? Like Chay's just been living for a very long time, but I think Chay is also alive and not like. Not a dead person just hanging out. Like Ned is dead, right? Ned is a dead person hanging out.
So is time suspended for them? That's why they don't.
Well, and also I'm confused about because at one point they said this was like some long time in the future, and another point it seems like it's still like today, right? Like so I'm not 100% sure, or rather a couple of years ago when the game came out. Why does Ned get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it? The council are a special case. They're more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us.
So she's admitting that she either is or was human.
Yeah, I think she's human. Yeah, like I said, I think they're both. She and Chay and Ashley, for that matter, are alive, are living humans.
Okay.
And they get, and Chay, at least for sure, we know Chay has for some reason an extra long life. Yeah. Tell me about it. I'd have joined ages ago, but they're uptight dicks. They don't seem so bad to me. That's because you've not run into any of the ridiculous rules. Bunch of bloody regulations on manipulating life force and certain standards on the treatment of spirits. There's got to be a more inclusive term than human rights for all of the not quite human entities that are floating around. Is that why you gave me the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules? No, that was all within the guidelines despite his blustering. Oh, she turned away. I gave them back because I felt bad. That's all. Oh, neat. So you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it. No, dude, it's not like that at all. Nah, you don't need to clarify. I get it. Seriously. Last day on Earth. Moving on. Fine, sure. I'm sorry. Sorry, I've got to serve this customer. I'll help. Really? It's probably not a two-person job. Sometimes two people working on a task will be less efficient than one. Sometimes Kishan doesn't care. Yep. Come on. Got dark. I think it was the sound of wiping glass. Wiping a glass. Day 2, 6 p.m. The terminal. Maybe it's the environment on Chay. Well, he talked about how he fought in wars and stuff before, and I'm pretty sure at one point he meant World War II specifically. Also, one of the stories, not specifically him talking like during this place, but during one of the stories when he was talking to Ned. Yeah.
I also think that he referred to someone older as like a kid or something.
Yeah.
Am I misremembering?
Young man. No, I think that's right. I think that's. Or no, wait, that may have been Tony Leung.
No. It might have been the pool players. I can't quite remember.
Oh, maybe. Yes. It may have been the pool players. Anything else that needs doing? Nah, I'm gonna take this tray of glasses into the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit. I'll take them. You need a break. Sure. Where's the kitchen? That way. You'll find it eventually. Cool. Back in a minute. Is Kishan trying to make himself useful so that he'll be allowed to stay?
I hope he's allowed to stay.
Hey, Ashley and Chay. Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles. Rook and Castle both offer protection for the defending team, but Rook seems to be more popular. I don't understand. I guess like people prefer to call them Rooks. Nothing. Well, I mean, that's their official name. They're not called. They look like castles. They're not called castles. They're called Rooks. They look like towers, really. Yeah. What's this thing? Ooh, snap, son. Ah! My castle! Brought low by my own hubris.
I feel you, Ashley. I think you should take a screenshot of this too.
Alright. Brought low by my own hubris. No, it was just a pawn. Maybe a little mischievous. When Chasey's actually thriving, it's hard for him to feel like he's doing the wrong thing. Maybe that makes him overconfident. Maybe it makes him just the right confidence.
Is he keeping her here for some reason?
Well, she also has parents, right? Because Maddy did talk about her parents at one
Oh
point.
yeah, maybe they are human, no?
Yeah. Bishop! Knight! Arg! Your other castle and check. Check, you say? Oh, I didn't think of that. You activated my trap card! What? Oh, hey, Maddy, come check this out. Hey. I tricked him into a false sense of security. Oh man, that's embarrassing. You seriously let her out in the wee that hard? Yes. Very ashamed. I suppose the real hubris was inside me all along. I friggin' love women. Oh god. There's so many! I should try doing this more often. Chance win at chess. Could grow into a big winning streak, you know. You wanna play something with us? I should really head back down to the bar. There's nobody there. Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they'll know where to find you. How about I grab us all a drink? Make sure there's nobody waiting down family person. Won't be 5 minutes. You actually gonna come back this time? What's behind her on the desk? It looks like a Lego.
It's a robot.
Oh, right.
She
That makes more
builds
sense.
robots.
Yeah.
Actually, it makes sense that it's in the future because she has a robot arm and she's building sentient robots.
Yeah. You never seen her.
Oh, she never came back.
I mean, she needs a lesson. Welcome back. Promise. Why don't you pick out a game while I'm gone? Let's find something actually. Let's find something actually. What do you feel like playing today? Something with lots of things. The past tense of die is died. The plural of die is dice. Yeah, but there's two different dice. There's two different kinds of dice. Yeah. English is weird. That's why most of the rules, like the subjunctive mood, is stupid. Dice it is! We'll see you in a minute, Maddie. Day 2, 6:15 p.m. Ashley's workshop. Ooh, is that an aquarium? That's cool.
Oh, I miss Animal Crossing.
You can play it, you know.
I know.
Is that Ned?
Yeah,
The
I
figure of
think it's Ned. Is
And
Ned
that's-
her Lovelace?
Yeah, Lovelace and
Maddie.
And that's why the 4th season of Bro Battle Royale was an absolute betrayal. But you still want to be on it one day. Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit opens up. Like in wrestling? Exactly like in wrestling. Melbourne's got Melbourne's fuck is it? Melbourne's got a local show. I want something like that. Monogatari.
No. Ugh.
You could probably put your own local league together if you worked really hard. Perhaps you could build the robots and get people to battle them.
People.
Human-controlled bots are boring, though. I want to get more of that spirit juice and put together a bigger Ashley.
Oh.
Veteran
Right.
necromancers will advise that spirit juice is not something to play around with. Masters know that playing around is the best way to learn. How big? I think I'll start at car size, then move on to a more robust adjacent form factor. I'm not sure we have enough to power one of those. You'd have to get Maddie to source you a large amount of it. We need liters of it at least. That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was illegal though? Well...
Oh, is that why they had the...
Technically.
Remember the email chain?
But when Ned doesn't know, won't hurt him. Maddie's. That's a good...
How many pictures are you going to take?
All of them. He'd lose his head if he knew the half the things we were doing around here. I don't know, he seems fairly lenient with you, right? He wasn't always like that. A long time before you turned up, he nearly shut me down because I... Would you believe it's because I sheltered a criminal? And nearly shut you down because of that? Am I thinking of the same criminal you are?
Did Ashley?
Trust me, the irony was apparent. I find it very, very funny.
Oh, because Ned is a criminal.
Because Ned is a criminal.
Did he shelter Ned?
Maybe.
How old is Chay?
Yeah, Chay's really old. What sort of criminal were they? Just a minor demon on the run.
Is this the first time they mentioned demons?
Most demons aren't lucky enough to find someone as welcoming as Chay, especially the ones that haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves. I don't know what she did to get a price on her head. I just took her in when she stumbled through the door, dripping blood everywhere. Huh, that's metal. It was extremely metal. How long did you manage to hide her for? Oh, not too long, maybe 6 weeks. The time flew by, if I'm being honest. Why is that? Was she from the clock realm? No, nothing like that. We, bonded. Oh. Magically? How'd you do that? I thought I heard you telling Maddy that sort of thing was impossible between beings on this plane. Yeah. No, not magically. We were... lovers. I hate that word.
reaction, Ashley.
Yuck. Ew.
Ashley's my favorite.
Happier days. I like hearing about when you were young and reckless. Gosh, what do you think I am now, huh? Old and boring? Definitely old. Despite myself, I must say you're definitely not boring. There's that patented Maddy charm. Well, you know me, I'm full of them. Oh yeah. Charms. Hexes. Curses. That's all in your account, old man. Hey, I won't deny it. Hey, Maddy? Hey, dude, having trouble finding the kitchen? Yeah, I couldn't. I checked everywhere.
Oh, are we gonna get a new space?
Maybe. It's just behind the bar, man. You can't miss it. I told you, I checked everywhere. Nah, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar.
Is that the first time he's allowed to go behind the bar?
You can't miss it. Have another look. It'll be there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quantum hallways that they exist. Fine.
It's interesting. They have a mix of like science and mythology too, like quantum hallways.
How long are we going to keep him here, Maddy? Ooh, we're keeping him? No, we're not keeping him. I'm going to let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave on his own accord at some point. You feel sorry for him? Weirdly, yes. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude. I like him! Heh, do you like him because he's nice? Or because he was good at passing your tools over? Yes. Don't get too attached. He's not going to be here forever. Well, duh, I know how it works. I'm going to enjoy having him around just like he taught me. I'm sorry. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Yeah? Ashley. That's from the motivational calendar I threw out last week. I never said that. Same.
Sama.
I'm used to people moving on, is the point. I can deal with it. Good.
Ooh.
Day 2, 6:30 p.m. The terminal.
Half an hour later.
15 minutes later.
Oh, just now was 6:15?
Yeah.
I thought it was 6.
Oh, 6 before that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, she's upstairs.
Oh,
It's
that's
Ned.
Ooh.
Oh!
Oh.
Damn, Maddy. Fuck! Hey. You gonna keep staring at the coffee stain or not? Yes. Okay, whatever. What do you want from this conversation? I'm an open book as far as matters of life and death are concerned. Yeah. I don't want to go. I know you've probably heard this from, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever. Given the amount of traffic the terminal gets and how long it's been open, 1,000 people is a pretty low estimate. It's not about staying around for people who are waiting to go back to my old life. As wonderful and not stressful as that sounds. Like, I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side. I don't think there's any point to worrying about it until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here. The cafe? No. All this, I guess you'd call it this plane? Roughly speaking, I suppose so. I want to know what you did to be able to stay. Sure. Did Maddy give you those hours back? Yeah, why? Well, that's a way. You can just find enough hours to stay as a spirit, half here, half gone. But it's a wretched existence. I wouldn't want to live like that. How would you find the hours, though? There's only so many you can get from consenting beings, right? The crappy psychology of gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you create life from nothing? The answer is that you can't, Kishan. It's impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understands that, no matter whether they're doing good or bad things with their skills. Here's the thing, though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety, something that separates us from, well, people who don't do that. That's where the idea of vampires came from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything, they're just dickheads. Anyway, if you can take life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants. But in this business, there's a lot we don't or can't understand. One of the things we can't understand is why life force from animals and plants is tainted.
Oh, that's a weird way of putting it.
It feels gross. If it didn't, everyone would take it. Consequences be damned. How were you feeling today before Maddy took the hours back? I felt like I was slipping away.
Gave the hours back.
No,
right?
took.
Oh, took.
Yeah. Like my mind was really foggy. It's scary to run when it's foggy. You don't know what you might be running toward.
Ominous.
It was really hard to think or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed though. Typical. Imagine that, but 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like your collection of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil. That sounds horrifying. Right? So, should I do it? Probably not. How would I stay otherwise? Well, you could always go on the lamp, just run for it. But you'd catch me. Not me personally, but yes, the council would eventually. And that's it? That's my only option? Perhaps. Depends on how you feel about bonding your soul for eternity to a fundamentally neutral arbiter of justice. The downside of neutral arbiters is that they're never on your side. That's true. I really thought about it that way, but yeah. I have no strong feelings about it one way or the other. One way or another. Smart ass. Would you regret it if you stayed here forever instead of moving on? I don't know, I guess that'd be up to me, right? How do you mean? In the end, how I feel about taking a big branch in my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I'll regret, sure, but it's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, on everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, that's probably better for me, yeah? Sure. You don't sound convinced. I'm just ambivalent on it. I try not to think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept eternal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work, though. You have to act in the best interest of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest, yeah?
You have to keep the system running.
You have to keep the
system
system running.
More important than individuals.
And that's what he means by the neutral, right? The neutral arbiter of justice. The council doesn't care. You just gotta maintain the balance. It just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn not to think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out alright. We tend to only bother the biggest rule breakers anyway. Maddy being one of them. Habitually. She wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Chay. I don't understand that guy. He's nice, we've chatted a bit, but what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting some of Chay's. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much about the manipulation of life force as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. A lot has changed since the days when Chay was a young man. No way, he's that old? He looks like 60 max.
Really?
He doesn't even look that old, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the art is.
Yeah, yep, much older than that. Wild. We're getting sidetracked though. How do you feel about joining the council? I don't hand out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but can I have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? You've been out for nearly 25 hours. You're overdue. Put it on Maddy's tab. Ha. Okay. I assume you're not going to stick around forever. Unlikely if the next few hours are anything like how I felt this morning. I'll stick around until you have a solid answer then. Cool. Oh, he's already past his limit. It's supposed to be 24 hours, right? Want to get drunk?
Where did the extra hours come from?
He's just using them. So that's why he says put it on Maddy's tab. So it's he's borrowing from the cafe. And that's why the cafe owes so much, right? Because they don't kick people out. Yeah. Okay. So like even when it was under Chay, like Chay never kicked anyone out. They left when they left. We're already drinking, mate. Nah, Chay told me about something pretty special he's got behind the bar. Unless it's something really special, he's probably offered me some. And even then. So you've tried the bottled soul? You pulling my leg? Nope. Yeah, very good. You've got to be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, I actually have seen it. That's quite illegal. I expected better from him. Damn it. So, are we going to drink it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it or force the owner to dispose of it. That doesn't steal anything. He just uses assets. It's a completely different thing. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Oh, I can go backwards. I can only hit this button. Yeah. So I can go back by pressing L. Oh, good to know. Okay. We'd be doing him a favor then. I suppose. Come on, dude.
It's called getting rid of evidence.
Chay said it knocked you flat. When you say you, do you mean me? Or you? Or just anyone who drinks it? Anyway. It's like 200% alcohol or something. That's not technically possible. Well, they're already dead, so whatever. That's not technically possible. But I'll admit, my interest is peaked. Well, let's not waste any time.
Oh!
You had it already. Damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically. You in? Fine. Oh, this is deadly. Good thing dead people can't get alcohol poisoning.
You know you want to do it, Ed.
To bureaucracy.
Paperwork.
Ha, to bureaucracy. I'm moving around a lot in this episode.
Also very little gameplay, huh?
Yo.
It's 8
Your orders
PM.
arrived. Yeah. 3 days late, mate. I got held up by a mutual acquaintance of ours. Ah, shit. That explains why he's in my hair. I'll be there in half an hour. So they're talking about Ned. Whoever she's talking to.
I need a bathroom break.
Okay.
Continue.
I'll just wait here and talk to the nice people watching.
It's okay, you can continue.
Oh, well, it looks like we're going to a stories section anyway. Or, I mean, a moving around section. So I can find all the stories, if I remember. Hey, it's, what do they call it? Kepler? This is Lovelace is on the left. Oh shit, I forgot the third one's link. Kepler or something. Jacoby. This one's Jacoby. Kepler's in the middle. And Lovelace is on the right. And these are Ashley's Ashleys. Three of them. We drew faces on them in the last episode in the doodle mode. That's why they all have faces. The Katabasis is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero gets to hell at some point. Ooh, are they talking about the, what is it, Campbell's, no, Joseph Campbell's, hero movie. The monument. The He said that the Katabasis is important to every hero, and every hero goes to hell itself.
Hi, Lovelace.
That's Jacoby.
Hi, Jacoby.
Lovely son of
Hi, Lovelace. What's the one in the middle?
Kepler.
Kepler.
And in the stories, they usually come back, which is that bit that seems weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. The cafe has had a bunch of heroes come through, claiming that they were going to conquer hell and come back. They never returned, as far as I saw. The idea of Katabasis is that, in the grand scheme of things, hell, or the underworld, or Hades, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's on the outside of wherever we are. Like we're trapped inside this sphere and we're leaving to go to hell. The ancient Greeks ever considered that maybe we've been on the outside the whole time, just waiting to get in? Maybe they did, matter of perspective. I guess I'll ask them something. Yeah, maybe the moral realm is the outside, and we're actually trying to get in to the eternal realm. And not the other way around. We're not being expelled from the moral realm. We're being allowed in. Perhaps we're just waiting for our entire lives to pass through the firmament to the next place. Each driftwood that washes up on the shore of whatever that next place actually is. It seems weird, but maybe that's what we're at. It seems weird, but maybe that's where we're naturally meant to be. I'm thinking it's possible that this world isn't some sort of proving ground or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. A beautiful, flawed, complex waiting room. Personally, I don't think there's anything like heaven or hell waiting for us. No judgment either. The world doesn't even operate in binaries or absolutes. Doesn't ever operate in binaries or absolutes. It's just flawed human thinking projected onto things that are much, much more complex than they can ever perceive. Yeah? And I don't think that's what. And I don't think what's waiting on the other side is even something that we can conceptualize. I bet it's cool. It's a shame that it's a one-way trip though. Jacoby really went on a rant there.
Why are you so deep?
I think Jacoby's right. Binaries are a human invention.
Like how we assign emotion to animals.
Or colors.
Too deep. My brain. Yeah, maybe it's just something that we cannot fathom, right?
Yep.
Because our brains are. We don't use enough of our brains.
I don't blame you. Maybe one day soon I'll be able to stop blaming myself too.
Oh.
Well, you can now speak to Tuan and Hana to experience the side story, Walking to the Sky.
Tuan? That's an interesting
I
name.
don't know who they are. Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm outside.
Oh.
Oh, this is the first time we've been outside to walk. So the cafe's in there. So this is the story that we must do in order to get in. Otherwise they won't let us in, right?
Okay.
But here's another one.
Okay.
Billiards 3.
Oh.
Did we get billiards 2?
Yeah,
we did, right?
We did.
Okay.
They got angrier. He got angry.
Oh,
at the
that's
old
right.
guy,
Yeah.
no?
I remember.
It's yeah. I thought it was a clock,
So did I.
but it's a gauge.
Oh, yes. Oh, actually mentions one. Okay.
We'll end with that, okay? Because the billet story is very sad.
Yeah. Funereal?
Funereal.
I don't actually know how to pronounce that word, but I know what it means. It means funeral-like. Yeah. Of funeral or funeral-like. Yeah.
Okay, let's do funereal.
Funereal? Hold on, let me walk down here. There's more. That's this one, right? Yeah.
Funereal. Billets,
Oh, I can't
then.
walk that
Oh, you know
way.
what? Let's go billets. Go billiards.
Billiards first?
Yeah.
Alright. Seems to only be the 3. I can't go past here. They won't let me. So
Maybe that's the afterward.
Maybe that's... Oh! Maybe, huh? Maybe that's why there's like trains over there. They're going to take you to whatever... Interesting. I didn't even think about that. Oh! Beth 2. What was... Oh, yes! Beth 1. It was the knife.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Beth might be the minor demon that Chay... I think.
Okay.
I'm guessing, obviously.
So
but
it's interesting to me, right? That plants are growing, but everything else is decaying.
Alright, so we're doing... What are we doing?
In my garden, it's the opposite.
Wait, where's the billiards 3? Oh, it's right next to the door, right?
We do billiards 3, then Beth 2.
Okay.
Then the Ashley's inventions. Is that billiards?
Yes.
Do you want me to do the reading?
Sure.
Maddy came up to the stairs to see Thomas standing over a sobbing Brad. Thomas looked over at her and she beckoned him over to the stairs. Excuse me, she said. Can you come downstairs for a moment? Thomas looked over at Brad, who was sitting on the floor, face in his hands. He nodded to Maddy and followed her downstairs, leaving Brad to sort himself out in solitude. Brad's the younger guy.
Yes.
Thomas is the older guy, yeah. Maddy slid behind the bar, and Thomas sat down in front of her. What are we doing here? Said Thomas. Getting you away from him, said Maddy. I think he needs a few moments alone to get it all out. Some people like to cry with others, and others like to cry alone. He doesn't strike me as the kind of person who likes to cry in front of others. Alright, said Thomas. Can I get you another beer? Said Maddy. That was so weird.
Yeah.
I think I've had enough for one night, said Thomas. What did you tell him? Said Maddy. Do you need to know? Said Thomas. No, said Maddy. But I think you're struggling to figure it out yourself, and I think you might have an easier time understanding it if you tried to explain it to someone. I'm the only one here, so she shrugged. You can think inside your own head, or you can think out loud. If you want the latter, I've got ears. Thomas leaned forward, placing both elbows on the counter. I think I will have that beer, actually. You got it, said Maddy. What do you think I said to him? Said Thomas. Are you asking me to guess? Said Maddy. Yep, said Thomas. I'm guessing that he's a kid who carries around a lot of painful truths, said Maddy. I'm guessing you told him a truth that turned out to be painful. I think you may be right, said Thomas. I think maybe I tell the truth too often. I've got nothing against the truth in principle, said Maddy. But not all truths have to be told. Do you suppose I were to make up a story for him? I don't exactly know what's going on between you two, but he obviously cares what you think of him. He wants to impress you, but I think a false compliment would sting even worse. So what do you think I should do? Suddenly all the dialogue tags are gone. Said
There it is.
said Thomas. The kid thinks I'm a damn hero or something. I think sometimes it's okay to give people what they want, and not necessarily what you think they need. I get the impression that this would be his last chance to get that from you too. You may be right, said Thomas. But both the truth and lies can hurt people. They can also build people up, making them feel better. When you tell a lie, you're the one that has control. You can lie to hurt people, or you can lie to help them. Sometimes you hurt people without meaning to. No matter how it turns out, it's on you. But no matter how it turns out, it's on you. He sighed. The truth isn't like that. You don't get to decide what the truth is. You can only say it. And whether it hurts someone or helps someone, well, that's up to them. Sometimes we hide the truth because we think it hurts. So which is it? Thomas shook his head. Maybe it's neither. Maddy poured Thomas another Guinness. Lies of omission are lies too. Sometimes concealing the truth is just as simple as saying nothing. Do you think you can hurt someone by staying silent? Maddy set down the glass in front of Thomas. Do you think the truth hurts more? Thomas studied the drink in front of him. I guess there's only one way to find out. He got up from the bar, leaving the glass of beer undisturbed as he walked upstairs. Brad's eyes were still red when he saw Thomas walking up. He tried to focus on the pool table in front of him, doing his best to ignore the old man. It worked until Thomas put a hand on Brad's shoulder. Brad, do you know what the difference between us is? Brad shook his head. You play for glory, I played for mine. Thomas paused. You know how we are similar? Brad shook his head. Neither of us played to win. I thought you said you were in it for the money, said Brad. Yes, said Thomas. There were tons of ways to make money playing pool. Thomas leaned against the table. I made my career on being predictable. There's a lot of money to be made if you can predict the outcomes of events that seem like they're up to chance, especially when you're one who controls the outcome.
Was he betting on himself? Or not betting on himself, as it were?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like maybe he threw games if
Yeah.
he didn't win. Brad looked at Thomas with confusion. Every year I made it to the finals. I was favoured to win. Betting odds were in my favour. I lost every time. Do you think that I lost every one of those games because of nerves? He shook his head. I played pool for less than 10 years, but I managed to make enough money in those few short years to retire. Do the math, kid. The money didn't come from tournament earnings.
He bet against himself.
Brad let out a low whistle and looked at the famous Thomas Walsh with new eyes. You're not the man you think I am. Brad shook his head. I don't believe it. The old man turned away from him. almost like he was afraid to look Brad in the eye as he said it. Like I said, I have no regrets. I played for money, and as it turned out, that was the right decision for me. But for you, I can't imagine anything better than playing for glory. You're still a great pool player, said Brad. No one can take that away from you. And you're a champ, said Thomas. That's something I don't have. I play from the heart. Well, maybe if I'd done the same, I'd have a title to my name as well. Thomas leaned against the table and nearly collapsed onto the floor. Brad caught him. The old man huffed a bit as he struggled to his feet. Perhaps you've been drinking those fake beers all night. Maybe I ought to take a page from your textbook, your playbook, next time. Enough pool for one night? Said Brad. Yep, said Thomas. As they walked down the stairs, Thomas stumbled on the bottom step and Brad caught him. Feeling okay, old man? I won't be driving home tonight, that's for sure, said Thomas. Brad chuckled and the two of them walked out the building. On the bridge out of the terminal, Brad looked at the old man, who barely seemed able to support his own weight. There was so little left of him, and yet the man could play. You're still an ace, said Brad. You don't keep up that level of skill without a lot of practice. Thomas said nothing. You kept on playing even if you retired. You say you didn't play from the heart? Bullshit. Thomas just smiled at him through weary eyes. At the end of the bridge, it is at the end of the bridge, Brad paused at the threshold. I guess this is the end, said Brad. I guess so, said Thomas. They exited the terminal and moments later, only one man remained standing outside as the other dissipated from existence, gone to meet whatever awaited him after death. Thomas raised an arm. Taxi!
Brad was the dead one. The younger one. So Brad died, Thomas was still alive. That's why Thomas was drunk. Yeah.
God damn it.
I knew it would turn out something like that.
So who is Thomas then? Why is he helping Maddy or Brad, right?
Well, I'm not sure how it works, right?
But they did say that some people would be human and some would be dead. I mean, some people would be alive and some would be dead.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can get the script for this.
I'm sure we can.
Like, I would like to read everything.
Just read it as a book or as a collection of short stories. Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it.
Beth swung her knife in a horizontal slice, and the crowd let out an ooh. Not too loud, she said. Her eyes were fixed on Kyle, but she was speaking to the crowd. Last thing we want is someone coming down here investigating a news complaint. She heard a few grumbles in the crowd, but they quieted themselves. Everyone understood her meaning. Playing with real knives in this manner was the kind of thing that was strictly verboten. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that. It's a German word. Verboten. And no one wanted to be on the wrong side of Maddy's bad mood. Even those who didn't fear death quaked in their boots a bit at the prospect of Maddy's wrath. She made a few more horizontal slices with her blade, cutting the air. It was the kind of thing people did to warm up the crowd. Beth wasn't concerned with what people thought about how she fought. Her movements with the knife were the only practice she was going to get with this knife, as she did her best to memorize the feel of the blade as it cut through the air. It was a terrible knife for a fight like this, a serrated edge. Ooh. It was designed for ripping and tearing cooked meat that stood still on a plate, not fresh meat that was attached to the body prepared to evade its cuts. Yeah, because they're knife fighting.
Yeah.
This was an entirely different kind of knife fight than the one before. When playing with practice knives, the goal was to strike the opponent in the torso. When playing with live knives, common etiquette dictated that stabs in the softer parts of the torso, like the chest or stomach, stabs that were most likely to be immediately fatal to a normal person, were strictly against the rules. In this battle, the goal was simply to draw blood. A cut to the arm or leg would do. Kyle was the first to make a move. He tried to feint to the right before hopping back to his left foot and swinging at her, but he made such an obvious show of telegraphing the attack that Beth had stepped out of his way well before his attack came. Kyle grinned. I guess I'm not going to reach to outsmart you. Beth kept her steely gaze trained on Kyle's right hand, the one that held the knife. Well, he said, I guess I'll just have to outspeed you. This time he stabbed straight forward with a thrust of his arm. It was the first time he had made an attack without fully committing to it by moving his feet. Beth had been afraid that he might try this. Kyle was nearly half a meter taller than her, and he had finally figured out that his longer arms gave him a tremendous advantage against Beth and her shoulder reach. The stab was directed at her shoulder, and she managed to duck out of the way fast enough, but there was no time for her to offer a counter swing before Kyle pulled back and stabbed again, this time attempting to strike at where her arm had been, had she not moved just a moment sooner. Beth backed up, giving Kyle space and hoping to bait him into making a bigger attack, but he seemed content to continue attempting the one tactic that had come close to working for him. As she stepped back, he stepped forward, and only after planting both feet did he go for her stab. There was nothing Beth could do but step back, giving him even more space to maneuver, all the while becoming increasingly aware of how close her back was coming to the wall behind her. She needed to do something to throw him off balance and find a way to reset. She stepped to the side, forcing Kyle's next attack to take a horizontal arc to reach her, and as soon as she saw that blade coming, she swung her own blade. She heard the ting of metal hitting metal as the two blades made contact, and the serrated edge of Kyle's knife hit the smooth edge of hers. They stayed like that for about half a second as Beth kept forcing Kyle's knife to the side, and with their knives still locked, she strafed around him until her back was no longer against the wall, placing the two of them on equal footing. This never happened in a real knife fight, Beth thought to herself. She had been saved only by the serrated edges of Kyle's knife. He grinned, apparently enjoying the moment. Yes, Kyle. We're doing it just like in the movies. I know that when you think of a knife fight, you think of two swords or two Jedi facing each other with blades locked. But it's not supposed to go like this, and right now you're about to lose the biggest edge you had. She finally slid her knife out of the lock, releasing Kyle, who seemed completely oblivious to the fact that their footing had changed. Does she have high ground now? He was so bad at this that he didn't even have an awareness for what it meant to have her with her back against the wall. But while Kyle lacked in brains, he made up for her in physical size, and Beth was still left with the problem of how to get around his reach. Kyle was doing too good a job of controlling the space between them. She couldn't go straight for his chest like she had before, not that she intended to strike him in the chest. She hadn't forgotten the rules. His reach made it equally difficult to go around him. Going over him was certainly out of the question, which meant that her opening had to be from underneath. A stab to the groin would certainly be against the spirit of the rules, but she might be able to get a good shot at his legs if she got close enough to the floor. But there was no way to get under his arms from a standing position. If she was going to attempt a leg strike, she would have to commit to it. She needed to create an opening. She feinted sideways toward the wall. Unlike Kyle's attempt at a feint, Beth's move to the left served the dual function of placing her weight in a perfect position to push off her left foot, moving right when Kyle moved left. She made as if to swing at him from the right, which prompted Kyle to stab in that direction. And with his body moving left and his arm moving right, the reach of his arm was effectively reduced. Oh wow, that's actually a really good way to describe that.
No, I was just thinking that the description is so good that I can visualize everything.
Yeah. Reduced enough for her to slide under it? There was only one way to find out. She bent her knees, falling forward like a sprinter leaning forward on the starting blocks. There it was. He was twisted to the right, reflexively trying to kick at her, allowing her to lunge forward and place her knife directly in the path of the swinging leg. He was grunting. Whoa, he let out a panicked yelp. No, he wasn't twisting. He was falling. And with the way her knife was pointed up, it was positioned to anchor itself directly into his belly if he fell on top of her. She reflexively tossed the knife aside, hearing it clatter to the floor as Kyle's weight came down on top of her. His tumbling knees struck her directly below the chest, and she felt herself falling back, her head falling to the floor until the moment she felt the impact of the ground on the back of her head and everything went black. Ooh,
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
Oh, well, I did not. Well, she, made sure that she didn't stab him.
I'm wondering what kind of fight it was. Because she said this would never happen in a real fight.
Because in a real knife fight, you go to kill.
Oh.
And so this was a knife fight using real knives, as opposed to practice knives, but you were only going for first blood, not for kill. Yeah.
I wonder what the situation was.
I think they're just having fun. If I remember from the first one, Maddy told them that they could. It was like a fight club or a gambling ring. But Maddy said they couldn't use real knives, and then they decided to use real knives. I've been thinking, said Kishan. Oh. Uh-oh, said Maddy. About the people that I've left behind, said Kishan. I'm not going to see any of them again. One of them could be about to walk through the door, said Maddy. Don't taunt me with possibilities, said Kishan. Thanks, Ramor. Yeah, we're feeling much, much better. You brought it up. Yeah, well, he slumped over in a funk. Death has a real finality to it, you know? Yeah, it does, said Maddy. That's death. Travel from life to death is a very one-way street for all but a few individuals, and if you're standing here, then it's a bit late for chess battles. I guess I'm thinking more about the fact that I'm not going to see any of my old friends again. Not as long as they're alive, anyway. That does tend to be how death works, said Maddy. I hope you're not surprised. Not surprised, said Kishan. But also I wouldn't have been surprised if that wasn't the case, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure on at least one occasion I've threatened people by saying I will haunt you, and now that's never going to happen. Pity, said Maddy. You could have been someone's grudge ghost, though. Guess that one's confined to the annals of Japanese horror cinema. Hey, you should read that book again. About Japanese horror cinema.
1717.
Is it not over yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think so.
It should be already. No, has it not been a full month?
I don't know.
Hey, said Kishan. Like you look it up?
Yes.
I was wondering, do you think there's any way for me to see what's going on at my funeral? Don't, said Maddy. Alright, said Kishan. I just thought, it's kind of everyone's fantasy, right?
Nope, not mine.
To see what people have to say about them after they've passed? Wouldn't you want to see what was going on at your own funeral?
Nope.
I think it's none of your business what goes on at your funeral, said Maddy. Really? Said Kishan. I mean, I think it's pretty common for people to plan their own funerals. At least
Okay.
if they go late enough that they can see it coming. I'd like to have my brother deliver my eulogy. Don't let them play any Barry Manilow songs, that sort of thing. Maddy blinked. Do you have a problem with Barry Manilow? No, I have no particular opinion on the man or his music, said Kishan. But a lot of people who are old enough to be planning their own funerals do. This is Ron Moore, my collab account. You have 2 accounts? Wow. Are you helping boost my numbers? But a lot of people who are old enough to be planning their own funeral do. You can make your plans, but whatever unfolds at the funeral is up to those who attend it. Kishan blinked. What about the wishes of the dead? I thought you'd have a bit of more sympathy for their interests, considering how often you interact with them. I care plenty about the dead, said Maddy. You were asking about funerals. Funerals are for the living, my friend. That is correct. Kishan opened his mouth to respond, but cut himself short. I never thought about it that way. I'm not sure what to say. If you're short on words but high on energy, you can expend some of that energy by carrying this box upstairs, said Maddy, gently kicking a large cardboard box that was resting underneath the counter. There's an alcove next to the bookshelf that would make a good home for this box. Kishan picked up the box, grateful for something to do with his hands. It was heavy enough that he had to make sure...
Yesterday was the last day of 7 months.
There you go! You can start reading.
Oh, does it mean I can eat mooncake now? Wait, is that rude? Yeah.
No,
Mid-autumn comes after.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for helping to boost my numbers. It was heavy enough that he had to make sure he lived with his legs and not with his back, but not so heavy that he felt out of breath by the time that he reached the top of the stairs. His breathing was heavy, but not labored. It was a good feeling. Why do the dead still breathe? Kishan set the box down at the spot Maddy had designated and sat down for a moment, waiting for his heart rate to return to normal. Why does he have a heart rate? It felt good to feel his heart beating inside of his chest. This is how it feels to be alive, he thought to himself. Damn, I'm going to miss it.
Maybe you don't lose all your humanity.
Maybe.
Yeah, until
Maybe,
you cross
yeah,
over.
you don't lose your bits.
I don't care what happened to my funeral. Like, it should just be whatever.
I mean, if it's up to me,
whoever
we're not having a funeral.
Yeah, I don't know. Whichever.
Like if I outlive you, we're not having a funeral. I'm just gonna put you down. I mean, I'll put you in, not down. Put you in whatever. I guess in Singapore you'd have to be cremated, so I'll cremate you, and that's the end of it. Ashley's original ideas do not steal. Kitchen assistant. According to Maddy, the best way to chop hard ingredients like carrots or celery is to place the thing you are chopping near the point where the tip of the knife touches the board, since this gives you more leverage. Oh yeah. I'm an idiot. So like this. You get more leverage. With the tip of the knife touches the board. Yeah. So you're basically doing, yeah. So you don't lift the blade up, right? Which is what I always do. Yeah. I looked it up, and this is called a Class 2 lever. Yeah, lever, which gives you way more torque for cutting hard things.
Thanks.
The mechanical advantage you get from the Class 2 lever can be increased by making the knife longer. That gave me the idea to make a knife that was 11 years long. That would provide a much greater mechanical advantage than the knives Maddy uses, which only mechanics see and agents see. Maddy says that I'm not allowed to use any knife that will only use CM, and said something about a weed katana, so that idea is a dead end. I don't actually. I mean, I know what weed means, but I don't know how it's being used in this context. Because sometimes it's a bad thing, but sometimes it's a good thing. Like geek, I guess. I didn't know what she meant by that, so I looked it up online and found some videos of guys using really long blades to cut things like water bottles. Apparently, the key to cutting is force and speed. Since Maddy doesn't want any blades longer than 18 cm, that means getting more force from leverage is out. But I can compensate for this by just making the blades really, really fast. I created Kitchen Assistant version 1 that uses a shorter knife, but it's affixed to a wheel that turns at 290 RPM and you put the blade The first time I turned it on, the blade wasn't completely secure and it flew off into the ceiling.
This is why I'm scared of ceiling fans.
But this wasn't, it embedded in the ceiling, not with the ceiling.
No, it is anything that rotates.
It doesn't rotate at 290 RPM.
I don't know.
How do you know?
Who knows what will happen if something short circuits?
To make sure this wouldn't happen again, for version 2 I welded the blade to the flywheel so that it won't come off. I think that Maddy will be really pleased with the result because I only had to use a 10 cm blade, which is much smaller than the original blade size which we had a problem with. Also, when choosing which knife to weld up in the flywheel, I picked the knife that Maddy says is the best one. I think a personal bias will cause her to like my invention more because I built it using her favorite knife. Knife retriever.
Because the knife flew away.
Kitchen Assistant V2 was a big success, but my testing of Kitchen Assistant V1 left the knife embedded in the ceiling, and I wasn't able to reach the knife by climbing on top of my stepladder. I could probably reach it if I placed my stepladder on the countertop, but Maddy says that's dangerous, so I wanted to find a way to retrieve the knife without breaking that rule. I was thinking of making a giant magnet, but electromagnets require a lot of power, and the last time I tried to draw a lot of power from the outlet, it tripped the circuit breakers. And if you try taping the circuit breakers in place so that they don't trip, things catch on fire, and it's a lot harder to fix, especially since hiding that kind of thing from magnet requires so much effort. My god, that's just hilarious. Keeping the smell of smoke covered while replacing a breaker box is like doing 2 jobs at once, and that's 2 jobs more than I want to do on a Saturday afternoon. So a magnet is probably out, especially because I'm not sure if the knife is made out of a ferromagnetic material. I don't know what Maddy's knives are made out of, but if they're made out of aluminum, the magnet won't work. Or if they're ceramic. I might have to try the electromagnet thing if I don't think it'll plan before Maddy notices. She probably wouldn't like it. The good news is that the knife is firmly embedded in the wood, and the compressor force on the knife is enough to prevent it from falling down due to gravity, unless a loud vibration causes it to fall down. So there's a very low probability that I'm falling down and hurting someone. The only thing that could disturb this is if it got humid and the wood around the knife started to warp. And the weather forecast said we're not getting any rain for the next few days, so I should have plenty of time to get the knife down before it's at risk of falling. Just as long as Maddy doesn't look up when she's standing behind part of the counter, everything will be fine. Visibility reducer.
It's gonna reduce the knife.
To prevent Maddy from looking up and seeing the knife on the ceiling, I created devices to dissuade her from looking up.
It's like what is it? You have a little tear, right? And then you keep trying to fix the tear by making it bigger.
Yeah. If you put a really bright halogen lamp somewhere, it really makes people not want to look in the direction. So I figured that if the knife had a halogen lamp next to it, anytime Maddy thought of looking up the ceiling, she would decide, no, I don't want to look up there because there's a bright halogen lamp. It'll probably blind me. I'll look down at the counter instead. Or maybe she will look up at the light, and then she'll be disoriented by how bright it is, but she won't see the light on the ceiling. The LED on my headlamp only goes up to 15 lumens, and it takes 500 lumens to disorient a person. The problem was that I couldn't figure out how to fix the halogen lamp to the ceiling. That was the same problem I had with doing the knife, which is too high up. Then I realized a simple solution. I could get the halogen lamps up to the ceiling the same way I got the knife up there by wasting having it with the kitchen system on that photo.
Everything she's doing is extremely logical.
The halogen lamps aren't sharp enough to embed themselves in the wood, so I had to apply a layer of fast-drying adhesive covered by another layer of wood glue.
Do you remember the story where I think where someone has to come up? We won't talk about it, but when someone has to come up with the bestest plan ever,
Yep.
this is going to be what it's going to be like.
This is what it's going to be like. I figure the fast-drying adhesive will hold them there long enough for the wood glue to dry, and that will keep them from falling until I can figure out how to get a way to get the knife down. My first attempt to use the kitchen assistant volume 1 to throw the halogen lamp at the ceiling did not go so well since it let go at the wrong time and instead it took the lamp from the wall.
Sometimes when I cannot sleep at night, these are the things that I think about.
It took me almost 5 minutes to clean up all of the big pieces. There were a lot of pieces that I didn't have time to cut. They were small, so Maddy probably won't notice.
Oh, no!
One step, and if Chay notices them, we'll try to do another. The second attempt I got the kitchen system to throw at the ceiling, but its velocity was too high, and when it fell to the ceiling, it shattered instead of sticking. I tried lowering the RPM of the kitchen system too, but after my fifth attempt, I realized I was out of halogen bulbs. I wonder if I could recycle the broken pieces for anything. Lamp bulbs seem like they would be very hard to reconstruct.
Is that it?
That's it. Oh my god, actually.
Ashley's my favorite.
Ashley was
I don't think we're gonna finish tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It seems
I may
like there's
have-
quite a lot more to
I
go.
may have overestimated how fast I can. Oh, but I can't talk to other. Oh, there's other people to talk to. Remember, for another story or something. Or is I got
Teen
that one. Teen
Transient.
I think it's the last one left, right? Because we did Beth. We did Funereal. We can't go this way. Nothing else seems to pop.
For our next game, I think I want to play something that has no emotions at all. Like
Like Doom.
Like Overcooked.
Oh.
Although that has a different kind of
Yeah, that
emotion.
definitely has emotions.
The kind where I scream.
Mostly anger. A teenage boy approached the counter.
Do you want me to do it?
Okay.
Shoulders slumped forward, head down, eyes on the ground until the moment he looked up to order a drink. He was old enough he could have passed for a young adult with a better presentation, but the posture coupled with the oversized backpack he was wearing were a dead giveaway. Irrespective of his age, he was still just a kid. Can I get a Coke? An order befitting a kid. Yeah, I think we can manage that, said Maddy. Think fast, said Chay. Maddy turned around just in time to see an aluminium can hurtling towards her. Hurtling towards her.
Toward.
Towards her. She almost caught it.
Aluminum.
The can rolled back toward Chay, who scooped it off the ground. The floor. Yeah.
Why are you making up words?
Because I'm a writer. He hesitated a moment before setting it on the counter. No ice, right? Said Chay. The boy nodded. No. Oh yeah. Yes to no ice. He sounds like a teenager.
Yeah.
Chay cracked open the can and poured it into a waiting glass, which he then slid down the counter, pushing it gently enough that it came to rest in front of the teenage boy. The boy grabbed the glass. Thanks, he said. Hi, Eugene.
Hey, Eugene.
He glanced around the room. If you're looking for a place to sit, there should be plenty of seats upstairs. The boy nodded and headed for the stairs, drink in hand. Plenty of seats down here too, said Maddy, turning to Chay. Yeah, said Chay, but I think upstairs is more Tuan's place. What did you just call him? Tuan, said Chay. People have names, you know. That's the problem with having regulars, said Maddy. People expect you to remember their names. So you said Tuan in Malay language is like it's like a title almost. So this is very
Oh, yeah.
So now that I think about it, Tuan, I'm pronouncing it like the Malay way. I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it.
I'm sure this is a. Well, I don't know.
Like Tuan.
Because Chay and Maddy are both Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So.
Like it can be Tuan, I don't know, like or Tuan. Probably wouldn't mind finding out that you don't know his name. Can't have your name on Maddy's shit list if she doesn't know it. Should he be on my shit list? Said Maddy. Nah, he's harmless, said Chay. Maybe a bit susceptible to peer pressure, but I think that's why he comes here. To meet with peers? To meet people who aren't his peers, said Chay. How many glum teenagers do you see around here? Too many, said Maddy. Maybe not enough, said Chay. Please tell me you don't actually mean that, said Maddy. Teenagers have the highest noise to spelling ratio of any demographic. Not the glum ones, said Chay. And if I were a glum teenager trying to find my place in the world and trying to carve out an identity for myself, I could imagine a worse place to do it than right here. Teenagers can be glum somewhere else, said Maddy. Whatever happened to proper teenage delinquency? Maddy's like a grumpy old man who's shouting at people to get off her lawn. Be careful what you wish for, said Chay. We've been mercifully delinquent-free for quite a while now. Proper teen delinquents don't loiter in coffee shops, said Maddy. They always set things on fire, spray paint alleyways, and stay out past curfew. Doesn't that sound like Ashley? Does the city have a curfew for minors? It should, said Maddy. Teens need to be able to break rules, and all the better if committing acts of vandalism at 11 p.m. gives them a 2-for-1. Maybe they should avoid delinquency and just stick to general mischief, said Chay. Oh no, said Maddy. We all have plenty of mischief around here, ever since Ashley set up shop. Got it, said Chay. Next time I see Tuan, I'll tell him he needs to be committing more crimes. What do you do if he actually takes up your advice? He won't, said Chay. Peer pressure only works if it's from a peer. Someone of my age telling him it'll be cool if he starts swiping liquor. Won't do much to assure him that becoming a thief is a ticket to popularity and acceptance. So find another teenager to tell him. I'll keep my eye out, said Chay. That's it.
And it shows up. Yeah. So
I guess he's a human then.
studio mode.
The teen transient.
Doodle
Hi
mode.
Ashley.
So Dawn must be upstairs.
Can we go behind the bar now?
No.
We can, but there's no.
Oh, there's no hallway. The quantum hallway has no.
Oh.
That's the basement.
Oh,
Remember?
okay, we've been already. Can we go up?
Yeah, I'm going.
Hi Chay.
Oh, we did that. Oh, we haven't had Judgment 2 yet.
What's Judgment?
Judgment was the story where we first met Ned.
Oh,
Ned and
was there
Chay
something
were.
at the stairs? There was a bunch of words.
Was it?
You walk up again. Oh,
Maybe it's the lights. Maybe you saw the lights.
I thought I saw words.
Maybe it was. Oh, it's the same one. It's,
Oh,
it's
okay,
Judgment.
okay.
Yeah, I'm looking down. So these are the two people. So one of the walking to the sky. So this is the other story.
What
Dwan
do you mean?
and
Oh, Dwan and Beth?
I don't know if it's Beth. Walking to the sky? Yes? No. I'll put no for now.
Okay.
We can come back to this because I think this is a completely different story
Oh, okay.
than the one that we've been.
Oh yeah, we actually did see a bunch of characters that we had not.
Yeah, we have not. We've not interacted with
Oh,
it.
that we
That's
have
the
already
fish.
fished.
Fisherman.
See you, Eugene.
Oh, no worries. Okay, I'm gonna start the story. We have a half hour. Yeah, so you can go back and redo any story or grab any that you happen to miss. Yes.
So we're not doing Dwan's story yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Okay.
Dwan's story. He's the one upstairs. So we'll do it the next time.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get confused later. Wait, which story are we at?
I would totally read this if this were a print book.
Yeah. Maybe it is. I've not looked it up.
I tried looking for a transcript of Necrobarista, but I couldn't really find anything. I could try a book of Necrobarista.
Yeah, like just Necrobarista as a book. Ooh, she's in the bowels of something. Oh yeah, she's gonna go get that thing. Day 2, 8:15 p.m.
Day
outside the
two,
terminal.
day
Gah. She has a box. I don't have the energy for this. Maddie's been running on empty for several days now. Especially with everyone watching me. I hope you packed enough conductors.
Wait, I'm not gonna look at the Wikipedia thing in case I spoil it for myself.
My order form was pretty vague. I shouldn't be worrying about the conductors when I'm not even sure I can pull the whole thing off without some sort of major screw up happening. Supplier knew what I wanted the conductors for anyway, so he would have packed enough. A good supplier knows enough about their clients to anticipate their needs. There's a certain amount of nosiness that is polite after all. And he knows that I've got Ashley helping me. Helping you with what, Madeline?
Ooh.
Piss off, Ned. Rude. You should respect your elders, you know. Ned is not a young man, even by the standards of semi-mortals.
So they have demigods, demons, semi-mortals, and mortals.
God, listen to you. The council made you soft, didn't it? Oh, respect your elders.
Only if they deserve respect.
Follow all our totally arbitrary rules or we'll make up some cheap reason to destroy your business. My name's Ned and I love rules. You done? Yep. Cool. You sound wounded. A steel chest plate can save you from the bleeding heart, but not a bruised ego.
Oh, I guess what Joe told me about the
Yeah,
armor.
that he's wearing armor. I didn't know. I gotta read up on Ned Kelly. I didn't realize he wore armor.
I have
That sounds pretty
the
badass.
story of the Ned Kelly gang by Thomas Keneally. Keneally?
Oh, that's right.
Keneally?
Oh, that's right.
I know words.
I don't think that's his name. I think the name is a different name.
did I say?
You should be nicer. Wow, sick comeback. Was it that guy you killed? What was it that guy you killed said? Oh Christ,
Killed?
I am shot. Oh no, woe is me. Yeah, because Ned Kelly killed a lot of people.
Oh right. I thought he was talking. I thought Maddy was talking.
Maddy is talking. What was it that guy that you shot said?
Keeney.
Keeney.
I was close enough. What did I say? Keneally?
Yeah, just a little throwback humor for you.
Also, it's called The True History of Kelly Gang.
The Ned Kelly.
No, just the true history of the Kelly Gang.
Oh, okay. Did I strike a nerve?
I buy for you for Christmas.
Okay. Did I just what? Maddy. When Ned spoke next, it was in a deep, dark cadence, steeped in guilt and self-loathing. If Maddy had been able to see his eyes, she would have faced a withering glare. We're rapidly reaching a point of no return.
Wait, The True History of the Ned Kelly Gang. Oh, The True History of Kelly Gangs by Peter Carey, and it won the Man Booker Prize. So what am I thinking about?
What are you thinking about?
Also, this was a movie, and if you want, we can watch it.
Okay. Yes, because it's almost like a Western. Australians have Westerns. We're rapidly reaching a point of no return. I can no longer promise to shield you from the consequences of your actions. What you did just there, quoting one of my victims' dying words at me, that was low. Even for you. Frankly, I'm disgusted. You dare to poke at my guilt? You dare? Let's talk about guilt, shall we? I don't suppose you might have anything weighing on your conscience right now, would you? Ooh, Ned's as I thought. Ned's getting ready for a fight. They may still weigh heavily on me, but I am absolved of my sins. Some moral debts that take a lifetime to work off. Ned's had more than a few lifetimes. I've had 100 years to process that, and to redeem myself through my actions. You? Your sins are fresh. There are lance marks on your soul, deep cuts in your aura.
Oh, Thomas Keneally, he wrote Schindler's Ark, which was made into Schindler's List.
So, not at all related to Ned Kelly.
He's Australian.
Hilarious. Sorry.
Yeah, he wrote a whole bunch of stuff called about Australia.
Alright. Your sins are fresh. There are lance marks on your soul. I should not be laughing during this part. Deep cuts in your aura. Swallow your arrogance, novice. Wow, that's a lot of round vowels.
I'm sorry, but I never knew that the author who wrote Schindler's Ark with Schindler's List was based on Australia.
Swallow your arrogance, novice. I know what you did. Maddy's sins weigh heavy on Ned's mind. They weigh even heavier on hers.
And both Peter Carey and Thomas Keneally have won the Booker Prize, so that's something else.
Alright. And I can't wait to see how you plan to make this right.
Ooh, I like that chip of him off.
I should have taken that.
Can go back.
Can I go? Is it too late? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, thank Christ.
Wow, I wish we had known that earlier.
Yeah. Why is there a one down there in the corner?
Wait, did you press something that go back? That made it
I
go
think
back?
it's, yeah.
That made it
So
go back.
it tells you how many times you've gone back.
Okay.
How
It's okay, we can crop it out.
Yeah. Episode 5. Rainy Moods. Day 2, 8:30 p.m. The Terminal. There they are. Tuan.
Hi Tuan, and just now you said a name, but I don't. Oh, Tuan, age 16.
Thinks he's smart. Not antisocial, just shy. Read a bunch of Wikipedia articles on optometry and considers himself somewhat of an expert.
Just like me when I read about law.
Hannah. Age 16. Knows she's too smart for her own good. Hobbies, people watching. Self-indulgent, teenage angst. Taking advantage of the fact that she's too smart for her own good.
She's like Ashley.
So I'm not sure that alcohol actually makes you feel anything. In fact, going by its chemical properties, I'd say it's the opposite. Shut up, dork, we're playing next.
Ooh, heist.
Metaphysical debates about alcohol can come after. But this isn't metaphysics. I'm just talking about simple chemical interactions with our brains. Swan is a guy who has the look of someone who knows more about chemical interaction than human interaction. Please take the energy you're putting into pedantry and redirect it towards the pedantry? Like when I give you when I give you rants about how commas should be used, that would be pedantic, and that is pedantry. Correct. A podiatrist is a foot doctor. A pediatrician is a child doctor. Occasionally, yes. Pedantry. Hannah's too busy with physical shenanigans to have time for verbal shenanigans. The plan? The plan. What's the plan? I was thinking I could just reach over the bar and grab the first bottle I see.
Oh, they're trying to heist alcohol.
Sounds risky.
You see in the background, there are people appearing and disappearing.
Yep.
There's shadows appearing and disappearing.
Yeah.
Do you think that these humans can see them? Because just now Thomas could see Brad.
Correct. So I think some can, some cannot. It really depends. Yeah.
And I wonder if some humans are there to help the departed along.
And I'm also interested to know, right? Like, if this is in the far future, maybe this is just part of life. Like, you know that this is a place where you can find.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right? So it's not so much that you are. I mean, you die, but then instead of going to the afterlife, you have to go to a different realm.
Very chaotic neutral. Ashley is that's chaotic evil. That's chaotic evil then. Chaotic neutral is one above, which is Hannah. Maddie there is neutral evil. I don't know who's on the left.
Can you scroll to see like them changing down?
No.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah. I don't know everybody here. Ned there is neutral. What is that? Lawful neutral, which makes sense because he was in the council, so he's lawful neutral.
Maddie's the lowest one in the middle, right?
Yes. So Maddie is neutral evil.
And the middle one is
Tishan. So he's true neutral.
And
Chay, I think, is one of the two above.
I think Chay's the middle one.
The middle one, is it?
So we don't know who the upper right hand side one is.
Yeah.
And the lower left hand side.
And the upper left.
The left.
I don't know if upper left is
Which one is Duan?
I don't know. Duan might be one of the two on top.
Well, I think Duan's the one on the right.
Yeah, so Duan might be the one on the right.
And then Chay's the one in the middle.
So upper left and lawful
left.
good and lawful evil we don't know. It's hilarious that Maddie is neutral evil. And Chay is neutral good. Wow, I still remember my alignment charts.
Good job.
And what's your alignment then? Neutral good? So no, Chay is on the right. Chay is chaotic good, which does make sense because
because he broke the law.
He broke all the rules, right? So yeah.
I would like to be chaotic good. All chaotic good.
Actually, chaotic evil.
Depending on the day, depending on who I'm with. Maybe we'll get to see the people that actually of the council.
Maybe. I'd say I was lawful neutral, but that's the coward's option. And you're not lawful neutral. Yeah. But getting back to the plan. Sure to go. Oh, sure to go. Using your own pedantry to distract you was absolutely part of the plan. Wow, it's a little fake. Gotta minimize liabilities here. Hannah's still learning to trust this guy. He doesn't have the look of an interloper, but he can never be too safe.
So again, it makes me wonder whether one of them is dead or alive.
You're out here playing checkers while I'm playing 6-dimensional upside down laser chess. Yes. I've galaxy brain this, and now I'm holding the fruits of my labor. Don't you mean our labor? If you insist. Give me a closer look at that. What sort of fruit did we pluck from the Buddhist tree?
Oh!
Is it the soul?
Oh, it's not meant to.
It's the top of the bottle. Really stretching that metaphor out, huh? Yep. An the language on this label? What? Let me look. What the hell? I don't recognize it either. Maybe it's a cipher. A cider is made from fermented apple juice. A cipher is made from fermented word juice. Yeah! I'll take it. You make you read a cipher just to know what you're drinking. Sadist. Oh, we could ask Maddy what it is. She's a sadist, right?
She is.
What do you call someone who enjoys the empathic pain they feel from hurting others?
Psychopath. Sociopath.
No, that was the sadomasochist?
That's not empathic pain.
You feel the pain. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, that idea sounds great. Let's go find her. Let's go find her the. Apart from the fact that we specifically nicked it from her. Oh, right.
This is boy not very bright.
We're meant to be the lawful one here, dude. We agreed on neutral good. You're not challenging your assertion does not make any agreement. Regardless.
You can't be neutral and good.
You can.
Have to take a side.
No, you can be good. You can be neutral good.
It's like Switzerland.
No. So there's two. So in the alignment chart, this is me being pedantic again. There's two kinds of neutral.
I listen to your pedantry.
There's the neutral between good and evil, right? And there's the neutral between lawful and chaotic.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I sense a dark presence.
Is it Ned?
Do you feel it?
Is it Maddy?
No, I don't feel anything particularly spooky in the air. Yeah, me neither. It's Maddy. Hello, children.
Screen grab.
Oh, damn it. I see you stoop to pray thievery. Oh, there we go. Hello, children.
I want to go now.
Basically, you want to be Maddy.
No, on certain days I want to be Maddy, on certain days I want to be Ashley.
Both evil, you realize. Neutral evil and chaotic evil. I see you stoop to petty thievery. Some of the bottles on that shelf are old enough that swiping them would be an act of grand theft. Not this one. Alas, squirm. I can't believe my high school is over so quickly. Don't give up on your dreams, kid. Speaking of, you know what happens when you drink this? I was assuming some sort of drunkenness. Does it make your teeth fall out? Well, last time I had a shot of this, I woke up in Adelaide. Wow. Yeah. So there's always 700 kilometers with the drunkenness of bad decisions. Yeah, because they're in Melbourne, right? Yeah. I woke up 6 hours before I took the shot. That can't be right. I have to drive a rented car back and explain to Shay why I disappeared without a trace until no accident time travel.
Oh, because it's a magical drink. Yeah.
Holy shit, can we give it a try? Ha 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 ha. God. I'm gonna make these all into
Memes?
not memes. What do you call the
Stickers.
Yeah, stickers.
Ken, I know what to do.
Okay. You ever heard of liquor licensing laws? Hey, that's for jail. I think it'd be an excellent formative experience. Yeah, if you're not perpetuating keeping culture, you're a loser.
That is wrong, people.
Somehow I remain unconvinced by your passionate arguments. Damn it. The best fucking lines.
I just saw an article where it says that Necrobarista is nothing but English.
Yeah, they're like, no one talks like this, obviously, right? Because no one's this fucking clever. But when you've got a lot of time to write, you can make anyone this fucking clever. Well, you tried. You kids have way too much time on your hands, you know that? Better than not having enough, right? And you guys with my time, practice my skills. It's not wasted. Well, the non-existent industry sector that relies solely on the skill of reaching over bars and stealing bottles of enchanted booze is going to be lucky to have you. Oh, that's so validating. Thanks. Sorry. Oh, okay.
Screen grab the side too. That's my life some days.
Is one of them, are they your two movies at work? I was going to say their names, but I won't. Joe knows what I'm talking about, though.
Sometimes one is like that.
Can I get you two a coffee or anything? Hot chocolate? I'm kind of busy tonight, but I'm hoping that bribing you with free drinks will stop you from getting on shit. I'll take a free drink. I feel guilty taking one since it was all Blonde's idea. Hey! Well, I'll graciously accept your offer. Meet, what'll it be? chocolates for both of us? That's a good face. That's also a good face. Hot chocolates for both of us. Alrighty, 2 hot chocolates coming up. Seriously, don't steal anything off while my back's turned off. You can do spite me. I wonder. Spite elemental. Maybe it's a me. Is she saying that she'll do this? Is she the spite elemental?
I want to be Maddy when I grow up. Just
Yes, I do know. Maybe the real spite elementals were the friends we made along the way. I hate this.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, you must be
The demon.
the lawful evil. Also, I look forward to seeing these pics in chats. Samantha, age 32, American, visiting Melbourne for work, devastatingly patient. Trust me, you kids don't want to meet a spy elemental.
Is she a spy elemental?
Have you? Yep. Got pretty close to not making it out alive. I guess you're in a fairly exciting line of work then. This woman's line of work might seem intriguing to someone looking in from the outside, but to her, it's all business.
Intriguing.
I guess that way sometimes. But spy elementals aren't exciting. They're terrifying. They suck all the air out of a room. They suck all the air out of a room and make the world ache. And they don't die easy. Huh. That's kind of metal.
I kept thinking they say mental.
Yeah. You sure do need brass balls to face one down, that's for sure. And a steely gaze. What? Because steel is a metal, and I said it was metal, and then you mentioned brass balls, so... Hannah, please back me up. No, you brought this on yourself, mate. No. Nah, she's totally right. Arg. What's going on here? You bullying my customer, Samantha?
Aw.
Of course not. Good, because that's my job. You two should go enjoy the evening. There's a nice breeze blowing. That's an evocative camera move. You remembered my name. That's sweet. Sweet isn't a word that people often use to describe Maddy. That's the kind of remark that says more about the person who's talking than the person you're talking about. Of course I did. You're interesting. Love interesting. Doesn't that describe everyone who walks through your doors, though? Absolutely not. Especially not in the way that you are. Some people would take offense at that. Your boss must be very different to mine. Well, my old boss, I guess. I'm my own boss now, actually. Maddy thinks she can make it all on her own. She just might turn out to be right. Apologies. Your approach to hospitality work is very different from what I'm used to, is what I'm trying to say. Figures. Where'd you work? Just some dive bar overseas. Wretched hive of scum and villainy. Star Wars quote! The owner would never shut up about treating free clients like royalty. Sounds like a pain in the arse if you ask me. I'm not asking actually, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. So, can I get you anything? Surprise me. You'd like me to pick you something? Yeah.
Next time when I ask you, do you want me to buy milk? You can send it to me.
Mind if I ask you a couple questions? Are they related to the drink? Yep. Shoot. Okay. What's your favorite white wine? You're not making me a wine cocktail, are you? Haha, no. I'm partial to a glass of Marsanne every now and then. Fancy. Next question. Have you ever read a star chart? Like in astrology? No.
And Star Trek.
Why? I don't put any stock in mysticism.
What about Star Trek?
Star Trek's not mysticism.
No, but star charts.
Yeah, you could read an astronomical star chart, which I have. Hey, this place isn't mystical. To some people, this place seems otherworldly. For others, this is just the world they live in. It's built out of cold, hard facts. I just don't know them all yet. Alright, fair enough. Last question. You're walking in the shallows of an ocean that seems to go into the distance forever. You can't see any land aside from the sand under your feet. Whenever you step forward, the sand sinks just a little bit. As far as you can see, there's no way to escape. Drowning is the only possible outcome. What do you do? Oh, I feel like you're about to pull out a void count machine or something.
What is that? I don't know what
That is the machine that they use to tell replicants from humans in Blade Runner and do Android Stream of Electric Sheep. Yeah. Void comp machine. Named after, I believe, the original creator of the replicants. I think.
In the novel? In the movie?
In both, presumably. Yeah. I think. I might be wrong about that. It's obviously some sort of test. I run, I swim, I dive when I can. If I eventually drown, so be it. There's nowhere else to go, and no point in just sitting and waiting for starvation or sharks or someone to save me. I have to take action. Interesting. So what's the verdict? What is the verdict? Samantha didn't get a response. Maddy's eyes had glazed over as soon as she'd answered the last question, and now she stood perfectly still, gazing intensely at the rows and rows of dusty bottles lining dustier shelves. Her lips moved, but no words came out.
Oh no, what's going on?
I think she's trying to decide her drink, or she's doing a spell to get a drink, maybe. As Samantha watched, a flask of red liquid twitched, seemingly of its own accord. Maddy craned her neck up at it and scowled. In response, a smaller bottle, next to the first, and surely only big enough to hold a few drops of something, began to glow. Her scowl shifted to a wry smile. Please, you don't need to open anything new on mine.
Was this what she took from the kids just now?
No. Gotcha. Your answers were interesting. Coming from some people, that might sound like a non-committal remark, but coming out of Maddy, it might be the most effusive praise you can ever get. So what are your questions? I'm still having a little trouble figuring out how they relate to each other, though. How come every time I play a narrative game, I want everyone to kiss? Is that important? I try to maintain a vague hope that maybe one day things might make sense. And until then, I just try to go with the flow, of course. Heh. That was me. Sorry for trying to psychoanalyze you there. Try? Do you think you failed? No. What's the verdict then? Well, for one, you tend to accept things as you see them. You don't try to interpret things based on unrelated frameworks or thought patterns. That said, you do try and make sense of the connections between things when you can. Maddy's pretty sure she has all the pieces. She's found that putting all of the pieces together requires a bit more effort. But it's no big deal to you if you don't. You just mark it as an unknown variable and move on. And that reads to me as an intensely pragmatic approach. Would you agree? I suppose. You're the sort of who doesn't buy drinks to enjoy them. You buy them as camouflage. If you're experienced with pretending to be something you're not in order to blend in, you might develop a talent for recognizing when others are trying to do the same. Wait, are you not human then? To hide your face behind. To project a veneer of being untouchable while you watch. Watch what? Everything, I suppose. You take everything in the same way I do. You take everything in the same way I do. So you're saying that I'm attentive, but that I don't worry about instantly understanding how things are connected. Because you're confident that eventually you'll understand it anyway. How do you figure that? You've been watching my hands this whole time. Is that weird? attractive bartender makes them a very fancy looking bartender. Maybe they will kiss. To appreciate a craft? No. But given just how interested you are in what my hands are doing, I'd wager that you've got some experience in my field. I mean, she did say she worked in a dive bar. Oh, that was nice. So, are you just really bad at picking up on when you're being flirted with, or... It's fine, sweetie. In fact, it's pretty cute. I meant an alchemy. Go back to I. The field of alchemy. I'm sure you're very accomplished in alchemy. Just take the drink.
I think it's the first time we see Maddy flustered.
Yeah. Shit, this is really good. Yeah? Too good to ignore, yeah. It's smoky but bittersweet, and it's the contrast with the bitters that really makes you appreciate the sweetness. Or is it the other way around? Some people like coffee. Almost makes me feel like I'm reaching the end of something. Like I've got a lump in my throat from saying goodbye. I can't quite tap into that feeling. Like, what did you even put in this? Mezcal? Artichoke bitters? Old Heart bitters? And a slice of gorilla lime. Gorilla lime? That can't be a real thing. It's just hard to acquire. Called that because if you bite into one, it feels like you got punched by a gorilla. Physically? No, emotionally. Ah, makes sense. I am not a wizard. Who said that? Is that Chay? Prove it. Arg. That guy, the boss you mentioned? Yeah. He good to you? I'm sorry? Does he treat you well? Yeah. To a fault, actually. Far past the point where it's rational for him to still be nice to you. No one's ever accused old Chay of being rational. That doesn't stop him from trying to be the voice of reason. Good. Actually, I'm sorry, that reminds me, I have to dash. Got some setup work for a project to finish before the sun comes in. Maddy rarely engages in careless shenanigans, so when she's up to something, you'd best be on your guard. To that scene, right? Yeah. Gasp, but without you here, who will enable my latent alcoholism? Eh. You can just reach over to the bar and grab the gin. Tonic's in the bar fridge. Will do. Come back soon, though. I'd love to discuss alchemy with you someday. Catch you later. Wait, one last thing. What was the meaning behind the question about what wine I like? Oh, I was just curious. I think Maddy had a little spring in her step there.
Okay, it's 11 already?
Oh, it's 11 already. Alright, then we will stop here.
Because like, it seems like this is going to start a whole new thing.
Yeah. Can I, what did I do before? Ah, yes, okay. So real quick, this is what we've have so far. So we don't have Judgment 2
is
yet.
it Ashley's journal?
Yeah. Oh, the chainsaw.
I want to be Ashley when I grow up.
So we don't have Judgment 2 here. What else is left?
Oh, billets. Can we see what they look like?
Well, maybe. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, Paul. I don't know who those are, though. Darren. Maybe these are other characters.
Or maybe these were like inspiration for the characters.
That's Kishan. And
during the
that's other characters. Some of them might not be in the story, right?
Yeah.
The design, like that might be Samantha there in the dress, because
Yeah.
like the dress that she wore just now was similar. And then Billiards 3. There's Maddy and Chay walking upstairs.
That's very different.
It's a very
looking
different Maddy, yeah. So I think most of these are character designs for the characters that we do see. Oops. Maddy's inbox.
The one advisory roll looks like a comic.
Halloween? Nah, not in this hemisphere. Shoo. Poor Maddy. Who's this?
Oh, there's a girl that had a bob just now in the thing, so maybe that's
maybe.
her.
Beth 3 most likely is this one. Ashley's Inventions 2.
Maybe we should look at this because it might be spoilers.
I don't think so, because the ones that we haven't seen are in question marks, right?
Okay.
So I mean, I knew that there was going to be another part to Ashley's Inventions, for example, because it already said one, right? So I know there's another one. And these other ones, unless this is all Ashley's Inventions, which I doubt, are just stuff we haven't seen yet.
I can't wait to see how she continues with trying to get Maddy to not realize that the knife is in there.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. So we will come back to this next Tuesday, assuming we aren't. We should be. We should be fine. I think we're done with illness. Yeah, I've saved a lot of screen grabs today so that I can make stickers out of them and just put them on WhatsApp or something, just for fun. Yeah, I still love this game. Still love the writing. Still love the art. Still love the characters. And maybe we'll finish it next week. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot more story than what I thought.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot more story because it's at 8 hours, right?
Yeah. And we are reading everything, so it's possible that I'm just that it'll be longer because we're reading everything out loud, as opposed to when I read to myself, I read faster than when I read out loud. But yeah, I don't know, maybe. Like I said, really like it. So we'll come back tomorrow. I'll be what am I playing? Tomorrow I'm playing Hatoful Boyfriend, which is a pigeon dating sim where you date pigeons. You, however, are a human girl. It's weird. You go to a school for pigeons.
Is it Japanese?
Yep, of course it's Japanese. You go to school for pigeons. You are the only human, and then it's a dating sim / visual novel. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Thursday, I'm playing Psychonauts. I'm going back to Psychonauts. The weekend will be Ghost of Tsushima. And
Tsushima.
Tsushima, excuse me. Are you sure? Are you sure? And then Tuesday we're back to this. Yeah, so that's the coming week. Assuming nothing untoward happens between
it'll be fine.
Now and the next time. Yeah, it should be fine. We're not watching any movies this week. Although Dune will soon be in the theater. Maybe we'll go watch it on Friday.
No, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
16th, I think. I went to check
next
to see
week,
whether
is it?
they
All right.
took it.
Maybe we'll go watch Mogadishu then.
Maybe. Is it my turn to pick? This Friday?
Yeah, but Mogadishu would be in the cinema, not here, not at home. But yes, it is your turn to pick.
Mogadishu to be yours.
All right, fine. we take turns picking a movie every Friday to watch, or at least one movie.
Because I want to pick a 20.
Yeah, and I watched. What did we watch this last Friday? What did I pick? I picked something.
We ended up watching on Saturday.
Oh, we did watch on Saturday because we were very tired on Friday. Yeah. Saturday, what did we watch?
Oh, we watched the Korean one. It turned out to be really good, but really violent.
Oh yes, the one with Madong Suk.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Outlaws. It's called The Outlaws. It's quite good, and it is quite violent, like comically so. Like it's over. It's not like quite at 80s level like American cinema violence, but it gets close. But it's very good. It's got a very good story, and it's quite funny in certain parts, amid the chaos and the violence. So yeah, The Outlaws. I highly recommend it. That is what we watched. So yeah, I guess this Friday we'll be watching Red Cliff.
I don't know.
We got Ashes of Time.
I haven't decided yet.
We got In the Mood for Love as well.
I haven't decided yet.
All right.
My turn.
We got all the Wong Kar-wais actually.
I haven't decided yet.
And Tony Leung's in a lot of them.
Time.
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out today, guys.